play. You see those college games where they play like on a battleship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's usually like the top teams, like the North Carolinas or whatever. Or you talk to like maybe, I don't know, a baseball player and they want to play like at this historic field or something like that. Or a basketball player probably
like
play at Madison Square. Yeah, something like that. So for a DJ, you tell a DJ that they could play center field of a football field with pyro and you know,
the fire
2 million people watching and 70,000 plus in a stadium. There's no DJ that wouldn't be amped to do that. And I was able to do that last year for the CONCACAF championship.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Rubino.
And this DJ in the building.
And you listening to the UpNUp Podcast.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we doing?
I don't know, just listen.
Yes. Welcome.
What it do?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned into the UpNUp Podcast on the UpNUp Network. I'm your host, Rubino.
And I'm DJ man.
What's up, boss? How you doing?
What's going on, man? Happy New Year.
Okay. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you
I
Happy
knew
New
it.
Year.
That was the first thing I had to say.
Yeah, man. Happy New Year to everybody in the room, the team.
Yes, sir.
As well as the listeners. Shout out to you guys. For the first time listeners, if you're tuning in, as I stated, this is the UpNUp Podcast. This is the podcast where we're focused on cultivating culture, right? We do that by providing amazing stories of individuals, groups, movements, the hustlers, the shakers, right?
Yes, sir.
Those who are breaking down barriers, taking up space, and not just for all of us here, but for who?
Everybody else.
All right?
Yeah.
Coming from behind.
Coming from behind.
The next generation, man. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the family, man. We definitely appreciate you guys. On the topic of the new year, I'm just feeling good. This is the first episode of 2023. And I'm thinking of how to come into this new year, and I'm thinking high frequency. That's all I've been thinking about. Higher frequencies, right? You with me on that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So for this year, for those of you listening, those viewing, we're just gonna be on high frequencies. We're gonna make sure the frequencies are up and stuck, right? We're gonna make sure they're elevated and embedded.
Yes, sir.
Right? We're gonna make sure they're rising and non-compromising, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
I keep going.
Come on.
I'll pass the collection plate. Let me know. Nah, man, I'm feeling good though, man. It's a pleasure to have you guys tuning in. And yeah, man, you know, like I stated, the purpose of the platform is to provide and amplify the voices and the stories of those who are taking up space, right? And super excited and honored for today's guest. I would say he's definitely a brother whose journey has been one that displays what happens when you merge your passion and create a vision to create your own soundtrack to your own life, right?
Yeah.
Right? You like what I did there, right?
Yeah. He's coming with it.
Definitely. He's definitely a true culture cultivator who's keeping everything he's doing on the up and up. A little more insight on the brother. He's an accomplished DJ, curator, creative director whose work has touched and dominated dance floors, at some of the top clubs and venues across the country. And through his vision, you know, he's truly been able to energize music lovers and fans everywhere, from major sporting events to parties to even the airwaves on platforms such as iHeartRadio as well as SiriusXM. Currently, he holds the position as the official DJ and music coordinator for the MLS's Seattle Sounders, the home team for us, right?
Come on.
The list goes on. He's had the pleasure of being able to work with artists such as Diplo, Exhibit, Cardi B, Sierra, Kalani, just to name a few. In addition to that, he's also had a strong commercial portfolio where he's been able to work with brands such as Amazon, NFL, the Adidas. And I'm listing these things because at the root of it all comes back to the journey, right? And I wanted to make it clear that is the purpose of why he's here today, because we are super excited to learn more about the journey he's been on and continuously building on. So without further ado, let's just get straight to him, man. Our guest is none other than the good brother himself, DJ Charma. Can we get a round of applause?
Yeah.
Come on, give it up. Give it up, brother.
I almost gave myself a round of applause. Man. Sometimes you got to do that, though.
Yeah, man.
Now, I was sitting there listening to that introduction. I started smiling because I think sometimes as humans, or even creative sometimes, obviously we've heard of the imposter syndrome, but you can be uncomfortable with your accomplishments and your journey, because you do know there's people that will never see the daylight of any of those things, or they don't even know that they exist. And I was once that person, but then I was able to go on a journey, and still going on a journey, where I'm able to see and achieve and be in different rooms and have different opportunities. And just hearing that intro, I was like, you know, I've actually done some things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My sister, she said something. It's funny, like with siblings, you sometimes get an opportunity to hear how they speak of you when you're not there. And she actually kind of gave me some insight to what she does say about me, which I always feel like she says positive things for the most part. Not for the most part, but she says positive things. And so I just remember some point last year we were having a conversation, and she was just like, you know, I was talking to somebody, and I was just telling them how, you know, I'm just proud of my brother because of, you know, what he's been able to accomplish as, like, you know, African-American male DJ in Seattle, and just in general, because it's, you know, it's easy to be put in a box.
Yeah, definitely.
If you look a certain way, or and people don't even need to know you. Yeah, they just be like, oh, you're black, you're hip hop. Yeah, you know what I mean.
They're gonna put you in it. Yep.
Yeah. And you know, she was just saying, like, she was just proud of me for the things that I've accomplished and the types of brands that I've been able to work with, the type of talent and just different, whether it's like celebrities or athletes that I've been able to DJ for, or just be in the same room as on an event. And that was just, it was nice hearing that, because, you know, when you're going through the journey, sometimes you're just like, I know I want to be the best, and the people that I look up to, I see what they do, and so I want to do that. Yeah. And so you just don't even realize, oh, I'm doing this event, or I'm doing this show, and I'm on stage, and there's 11,000 people in the arena. To me, that's just what I'm supposed to do to be great.
Yeah, you locked in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just locked in, and so, you know, to hear the perspective from somebody who's like beyond loves you, that's like your blood, it puts it in perspective. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. You know, sometimes that's all that matters. You can easily chase the kind of the gratification and the you know, acceptance from people that don't even know you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then sometimes you got to really just look
within.
Yeah, look within. So that intro, I was like, okay. Yeah. I see what she was talking about.
Yeah.
Then I was like, man, you need to write my bio or something. I need to redo my bio. I need you to write that.
I got you. No,
talk about that.
You know, we intro a lot of guests, right? But I always say every great album has a good intro, and I feel like we treat these episodes as like songs, right? The rhythm of the conversation, that whole thing. And I think it's important to set the tone. And what you spoke about earlier was dope too, because you gotta give yourself your own flowers. I'm a big like advocate of that.
I'm trying to get better at that, to be honest with you. That's I honestly, I looked at myself in the mirror recently, and I was just like, I knew there was some things that I wanted to do differently in 2023. And a lot of it has nothing to do with talent or accomplishments. Yeah, it's really just like internally
personal,
how I you know, view myself, or sometimes it's like how you look down on yourself. You know, the things that you know you need to work on, or you don't think you're good enough at. And I was just like, you know what, I want to be better at owning the stuff that I do. Yeah, you know, owning the wins, owning even some of the, you know, the lessons. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just looking at failure in a different light.
Yeah. I hear you on that, bro. 100%.
So I think that's why I was like, I started laughing, because it's really dope, the stuff that I've done. Yeah. And I'm smiling because I'm proud of myself. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You should be. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, sometimes people can be too cool. I'm just like, I don't want to be too cool. I'm still going to be cool. Don't get it wrong. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's like.
It is cool, though. That is cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, there's a new way to be cool. And it's not kind of what we've been used to. And I think you just got to be yourself. Like whatever your cool is, be that.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So
come on. I love that. Well,
dope.
Man, we dropping some gems early. Yeah. So we always start every episode with a quote of the day to get the tone set, which we already did, but I'm going to let Erm go ahead and smooth this out with the quote. What you got for us, man?
Yeah, man. So the quote of the day is crazy how you just gave us that right there, because I feel like that was another intro to the quote. So my quote is, man is a universe within himself. So
yeah, I kind of talked on it. I touched on that.
Yeah, when you're like internally and stuff. So I was like, damn, when you were saying that, I was like, oh, man.
I'm about to hit him with some shit.
You know, this is like, so that was my quote.
That was the alley-oop. You know,
who's that quote by?
Bob Marley. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
So, yeah.
That was a good one.
That's a good one.
I might
man.
tweet that one later.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
I think that was a good one to start off the year.
I like that.
You know?
Man is a universe within himself.
Within himself.
I love that. Well, Chris, man, before we kind of dive into the journey, which, you know, that's what we do here, I did kind of want to get your thoughts and your insight on just being in the role of a DJ, which from the outside looking in, it just comes off as very like for entertainment purposes to a lot of people. But from your standpoint, like what's the cultural responsibility that you feel you have and maybe other DJs have just being in that role?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because I think it's important.
And I didn't realize you were a DJ. So now I think this is going to be an easier conversation because it's like, you know, I think a big part of DJing, a responsibility is, you know, you putting back into what you take. Like, you know, I download music and I take that either for personal use or to make money off of it. And you got to put back. And so that's like giving, to me, I feel like that's giving information. But I feel like, you know, I guess kind of you want to know like the responsibility you feel as a DJ in a sense.
Well, just how you view it, like obviously there's different responsibilities, but kind of culturally,
I think
like just being in
it's changed as I've gone in my career and you know, had different mentors. You know, I've had different mentors at different stages, and so and then perspective and priorities change. So I think in the beginning, I was just like, oh, I just want to play the hottest song. You know, I want to turn up. I want to be known as the best person that plays the best music. And I want to get as many people to come out to my events as possible. Then as time went on, let's say like that was year 1, maybe like year 5, it was how to go to the next level, because now I'm exposed to what's possible. You know, I didn't, you know, when I first started DJing, it wasn't that I didn't know you could do different things with DJing. I just didn't even know it was possible. So then finding out, okay, you can DJ for a brand or you could DJ for a sports team. Those were things that I was exposed to through a mentor. So then it was like, all right, I know about this, and I know there's some goals that I want to achieve within the things that I've been exposed to now. I want some of those things for myself and for my career. And then, you know, you get some of those things, you achieve them, and then you get exposed to some new things. You meet new people, met another mentor, and then got exposed to what is possible again. And so it changes. I think for me right now, it's taking all of what kind of, I started DJing in 2009.
Okay.
Was it 2003 now? What is that?
2003, 2023. So what's that? 12?
14 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
My mental math's trash, by the way.
So you got 14 years there. I'm trying now to take all of that, you know, previous 14 years and turn that into the best thing I can. Because the next 14 years need to be better than the previous 14. And it needs to make sure that those previous 14 wasn't like a waste. You know what I mean? Even the people that I came across, they didn't they didn't waste their time investing in me, information and opportunity.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So for me, I think it just depends individually on the DJ.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, all right, we gonna turn up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is like
Pave that way.
Like, I feel comfortable as far as DJing. I feel comfortable. Like the skill part, I'm just like, could I be better? Of course, but I feel good because I know I will get better.
Yeah.
You're never done being a better DJ, basketball player, whatever. You're always getting better. You should always seek more knowledge to be better.
Yeah.
But then you have the business side of it, and I want to be better at that.
Yeah.
I want to be better at relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obtaining them and, keeping them.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I can say I haven't been the best at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's something that I want to do better at moving forward is, nurturing those relationships and keeping in touch with people more, checking on people more.
Yeah.
And so you have the business part of it, you have the relationships.
Yeah. It seems like it does seem like a lot. Like that, the reason I asked that question is because it is more than just what people see.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And I think it depends on what type of DJ you want to be. You know what I mean? Because I ran into DJs where they ask me questions, and I'm like, yo, I'm going to give you all this stuff.
Yeah.
As if I were being asked a question. But then you realize, they're not really that.
Yeah.
They don't want to be that.
Yeah.
They just want to play music. And what's crazy is like what I've achieved and even like, what I want to be, I've seen it done bigger. And that's like what I'm like shooting for that.
Yeah.
So sometimes meeting other DJs, that's kind of what I ask them up front. Is like, well, what type of DJ do you want to be? Because I can give you a bunch of information, which just might not apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you maybe didn't even know that some things were possible.
Yeah.
So I might give it to you anyway.
Yeah.
Or at least if you want to know.
Yeah.
Because the business part of it might not matter to some people.
That's true.
That's true. The relationships might not matter. I have people that like, ask me, hey, can I come shadow you? And I'm like, I guess. I mean, if you feel like you can get some, well, not I guess. That's what I think. But I'm trying to figure out like, okay, what is it you want to get out of this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can come and shadow me, but do you like? There might be a better way to go about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You know what I mean?
It comes with a lot responsibility.
Yeah,
but
and you can't just let people into your space.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. That I'm trying to work on is like, you're not feeling too bad about saying no. It might be in your best interest for me to say no, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, and I admire some people that don't have a hard time doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes, it's just kind of back to kind of the responsibility aspect of the question is like, it's a responsibility for a lot of different reasons, but I'm glad you explained it that way. So appreciate it.
I think it depends on the DJ, and I think it depends on just where they are in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm a DJ and I'm also a dad. So it's a different, how I look at it is sometimes different.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Well, it took a journey to get here. I'm almost certain.
For sure.
We definitely want to tap into where it started. I think.
Oh, that's the fun part.
Yeah, man. Let's take it back though. So, just talk about your upbringing, where you grew up. How it was like.
I mean, I'm from Seattle, so went to elementary school, high school, college, all here in Seattle. So I'm very much a product of Seattle. And so like for me, I was fortunate enough to like grow up with both my parents together. And then having a sister who was about 5 to 6 years older. And so my dad was very much into technology. My mom, she was singing around the house, but that wasn't like, she's not the music person. You know what I mean? My dad, he was the one that had the CD player when it first came out. Had all the CDs, and he had records too. Had a record player. I remember like this big record player. And then my sister being you know, a teenager when I'm like, I don't know, probably like 7 or something, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
She's like a teenager getting CDs and me going in her room and like stealing them and playing them in my my CD player and getting yelled at for that.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it was worth it because I was so just drawn to the music.
Yep.
You know, it wasn't even really lyrics because I didn't understand the lyrics.
Yeah.
I knew it sounded good.
Yeah.
I knew it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Shout out to the CD era one time.
Yeah,
For
man.
real, man. I miss it.
What a time that was.
The CDs, that was a time. I mean, even tapes, you know, because they were. It was like all three of them at the same time. Tapes, CDs, and vinyls. They still existed.
Yeah.
All at the same time. But I was just intrigued by the beats. Honestly, it was like the beats and how it sounded, how the song was arranged and things like that. And then, you know, as I got older, going into like middle school and high school, it's just being around friends that you realize had the same passion and interest. Being into music, and also being into the production of it. I had a friend who, you know, we both, you know, again, just fortunate to be in a household with both of our parents and then having computers. And so he had this program to make beats. It was like a very cheesy, you know, entry. I don't even want to call it entry level. This is like below entry level. But we thought it was like, you know, the greatest thing ever. And we started making beats like that, and then transitioned to I think Reason or Fruity Loops. We did both of them, but one of them came before the other. I'm not sure which one. And we would just like make beats and then like share them with each other, and you know, see who made the best one. In my opinion, he made the best beats I've ever heard in my life. And that's I still think that to this day.
That's hard.
That's dope.
And then got into, you know, having a computer, having a CD burner. And so at the time, you know, having this technology and then having a computer and downloading music, started making mix CDs in high school. You know,
so that's I'm glad you touched on that, because I that's one of the things I kind of wanted to touch on, because I think a lot of people can relate to like growing up, and everybody has a creative side, I feel like, at some point. And as you get older and as the world starts to kind of come into your world, it's like sometimes people's creative side can get hushed, you know? So I guess for you, like, what did you do to nurture that creative side to keep the fire going until you kind of felt you were developing towards what is now kind of a career path? But
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know if it was anything that I did, but I gotta give my dad credit, because he was financing my CD burning business.
Early
You know,
adopter.
I mean, he can come home with 50, this little spindle, or what was it, like a spool or spindle with 50 CDs. I'm like, all right, cool. Come back from school with a list. Everybody wants these. They, you know, give me a list of what they want. I take the CDs home. Come back to school, make some money.
Let's go.
Come back home, more CDs. And it wasn't even like a conversation. It's just like he noticed, you know, a hustle. He noticed something that I was good at and passionate about. And he just supported it. And so I think that's honestly, it wasn't really anything that I did to kind of motivate myself or anything. It was just seeing, oh, okay, I have some support.
You were being encouraged.
I don't even have to like fall out of this confidence thing, or just being encouraged.
That's important though. Isn't it crazy though how sometimes, like, for your pops, it'd probably be like the simplest thing to do can be potentially one of the biggest things that, you know, can propel someone towards what they're now doing, you know?
For sure. No, for sure. Because he understood, like, I was into it. You know what I mean? And he supported it. And so that just pushed me to keep going. And then, you know, at the time I'm making mix CDs in high school, go to college, continue making mix CDs, and it then kind of blows up. And then the girlfriend that I had in high school, you know, she used to be like an ASB president when she was in high school. And so I remember she was just like, yo, or the girlfriend that I had in college, she was a ASB president in high school. everybody loved the mixtapes, the mix
Yeah.
CDs, whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, they love it. You should think about being a DJ. I used to book DJs, you know,
Yeah.
for our school dances, and I think you could do that. And I'm like, I ain't never thought about being a DJ, but
Wow.
I sure as hell ain't trying to be a high school dance DJ. That just
Yeah.
wasn't like
Yeah.
my vision of it.
Yeah.
Even like from initially hearing the whole idea of doing it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, DJing. All right, cool. Let me sit on this. And so, you know, sat on it. Ended up going to the gym one day. And I had been going to this gym for a while. And then this guy was like, yo, what you doing tonight? You should come out. And this is a guy I seen in the gym. Like,
Yeah.
it was like a weekly, if not daily thing. Saw him in the gym. Never asked me to come out. Eventually, he was like, yo, you should come out to this spot. All right, cool. Get there. Walk into the spot. He's DJing. I was like, oh. I literally just
Yeah.
was talking to
Yeah.
my girl about DJing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a sign.
Yeah. I mean, and that's how, so I was just like
Yeah.
so intrigued. I was like, oh, shoot. And it wasn't even like a big club, but it was a popular club.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So at some point, you know, I told him, I was like, yo, I'm actually interested in this, you know. I didn't know you were a DJ. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what's up? So then I think it was within like a couple weeks or something. It might have been even sooner than that. He invited me over to his place, and he had his stuff set up, and he's like doing his taxes. It's like tax season and stuff like. So this is probably like, this had to be, I don't know, maybe the fall, winter or something. I don't know. There was taxes involved.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. It's vivid.
he's like, here, man, I'm gonna give you these 3 vinyls. Try to mix these. I'm gonna do my taxes. And so he's like, you know, sitting like, you know, over in the corner over there, and then I'm like on the turntables right here. Never touched turntables in my life. Never touched a mixer. Never mixed a record ever.
So this is the first time.
This is the first time
Yeah.
ever that I've ever,
on
been
the
introduced to DJing.
Yeah.
And shout out to DV1,
There we go.
world class DJ, world class mentor, and just overall good person, man. So
Shout him out.
he's out in Hawaii right now, enjoying his life, doing big things. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
no, but that's my that's like the first mentor that I could, you know, really remember having, and just it was very organic too.
Yeah.
And just that moment of him like, yo, mix these records. And I really wish I could remember the records. I know one of them was like a Ghostface record, a Leah, and I think like an Outkast record. So
That's pivotal, bro.
yeah,
Those moments, man, like reflection is key, bro. But those moments you don't forget, you know?
No, you don't.
everything.
I mean, I always remember that. And so, you know, from that moment, it just turned into like, he was like, yo, I think you can do this. Like, you can do it, you know? And I didn't know what he was hearing, but I didn't mix any of those records.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but, you know, I was like, I went back, talked to my parents. My mom was like, oh, what you want for Christmas? I was like, some DJ equipment.
Yeah.
So got some DJ equipment. And from there, just kind of just kept at it, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I met another mentor. His name is Arif. Man, I can't thank him enough. And it goes back to like relationships and doing better at relationships. He's definitely somebody like, you know, I should have handled that relationship a lot better. You know what I mean? And that's a learning experience, you know what I mean? But he was just so, you know, pivotal in my journey because in the beginning, again, like this is when I'm into producing and DJing. I'm into beats and DJing.
Yeah.
Go to this event and he's just standing there, and there used to be this producer magazine. I forget what it was called. Anyways, it was a producer magazine, and there was a guy in the magazine, and it was him. And so I walked up to him. I was like, "Yo, I think I seen you in this magazine or whatever." And he was like, "Oh yeah, what's up, man? You know." And we just hit it off and exchanged info. come to find out, he was working at Microsoft at the time, and he was in their pro audio department. And so he's getting, he's working with these companies. It could be like Pro Tools or whatever, hardware
like
and software.
The software companies.
He's working with all of these companies, and he's having a lot of the stuff that I need to DJ. And we just start, just having a conversation. He's like, yo, I have this hardware that I need to kind of, get some input on. Yeah. So kind of like being a tester a little bit. So he's like, it was an M audio DJ setup. He's like, here, try this out. He gave me a laptop as well.
Yeah.
And that was like my first, DJ, setup. And that was like huge because, not too many people, if you don't have the resources or the tools, you're just kind of left out of the race. And that, you know what I mean?
That actually is, and thanks for sharing that, bro, because
for real,
you're very descriptive, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the detail.
Because I mean, that stuff is important because it's like, that's why I remember it, because of how impactful it was for me.
Yeah, no, for sure, bro. But it's important because, like you said, sometimes people need resources just to get started, and that can be an excuse that they can make to not get started. But I did want to, I did kind of want to pivot towards leaning into the passion, and kind of making it concrete, right? Like, I think a lot of people, like, they're passionate, but then, like, at what point for you, like, when you kind of, like, put your time in and kind of worked at the craft, like, when did it kind of click where I was like, I want to make this like a concrete career path and I see it clearly? Was there a moment for that, or did it just kind of gradually build up?
Yeah, it goes back to like what I was talking about, even with my dad, where it wasn't something that I necessarily felt where I was like, I need to motivate myself. To answer your question, it was when my mentor started really like pouring into me, like, yo, you can do this. Like, you should do this. I can see where you can go with this. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I trust you because you're of what I know you've accomplished and what you've seen. And though I maybe can't see it yet, I'm going to have faith and just trust it. And then it's funny because now I'll have certain moments and I'll just like sit and just think about what I've accomplished, and I'll call DV and I'll be like, yo, I can just thank you because you were right. You know what I mean? You saw some things and, I couldn't see them. But you saw like, oh, you can do this. You have certain intangibles that had nothing to do with DJing, honestly. He saw something in me that was like, yo, you could be a DJ for a sports team because you understand how to be around, in certain rooms. Like, you know how to talk to people. You're charismatic. You know how to handle yourself in certain situations. And it's sometimes, like with DJing or any type of, profession, a lot of it is how you present yourself
professionally.
Professionally. It could be how you dress. It could be, do you get groomed and things like that, which some people are like, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be myself. And it's like, you can do that. Very few people can be themselves and go the places that they want to go. That is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a mindset.
Especially when somebody's giving you money for something. It's like, sometimes you got to like do the necessary things that are required. And that might be, cleaning up, putting a certain type of dress on or whatever. You know what I mean?
Being professionals.
Exactly. You can't go play in the NBA and not wear the uniform. Like, you got to wear the uniform.
It's a mindset.
It
really is, bro.
Doesn't matter how talented you are.
It's crazy you say that because I always be talking about this. Like, I used to always hear like rookies and they'll be like, yeah, this this veteran taught me how to be a pro.
Yeah.
And then like people be like, what does that mean? They taught you how to play basketball? I was like, no. He taught me how to be a pro, like a professional. I already know how to play basketball. I have the skill set. I got
it's the
everything.
professional part of it.
I don't know how to be a pro, and I think that's what you're getting at.
He saw it in me.
That's dope.
But then he also, he helped groom me in some areas. And in me going to shadow him on certain gigs and events. So that's why when people ask me about shadowing, it was like, well, do you know what you want to learn? Because for me, it was like, I just wanted to see like how to be. And maybe that is what they want to go for, but I've also seen a different perspective of it where it's like, I just want to be in the space. I just want to be at the party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to see what you're playing, like music wise.
What's the reason?
It's like you got to have, you got to be intentional with why you want to do some things. And I think sometimes it's better to start outside of the arena that you're trying to be in, so you can just have more conversation for somebody to like pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah. That's real.
Before you jump into the, well, I want to see like what it's like to be in this space, or how you interact with X amount of people around and stuff like that. It's like, I mean, that stuff you can kind of teach, but some stuff it's either in you or it's not.
It's like I'd rather go spar for a little bit before I jump in the ring with Mike Tyson.
Most definitely, and you can ask Mike Tyson all the questions in the world. And you can go to his training session and being around him, but it's like, it's
a process.
There's a process. It'd probably be better to just talk to him. At first before just going around him.
I hear you on that. I hear you on that.
Well, so what was it like for you, like when you first probably did your first major event? Some of the things you kind of took away from like your first experience at actually DJing in front of a whole crowd?
Like, how many people were you talking?
Man, because
when I first DJ'd, there was nobody there. I was DJing when the club wasn't even open. Shout out. No, it's for real. For real. Like, I literally, my first DJ gig, shout out to B-Boy and Soul Gorilla. They were, if not the top promotional company in Seattle at the time, they were one of the top 2 or 3 for sure. And B-Boy gave me an opportunity to DJ, and he was really upfront about it. He was like, look, you're not really good, but I see something. You know what I mean? And how we had this night on, it was like on a Tuesday, I think, at the spot called Twilight. He was like, come out and you can DJ. I think the party started at 10. I was DJing at maybe 9 or something like that. I was like, all right, cool. And it was literally just me DJing for the bartenders and the security, and I loved it. I was like, because it was no pressure. Like I was able to like literally get acclimated to just being in this environment.
Get the reps in,
get the reps in, using the equipment. And that's kind of like that's kind of like my issue with some of the younger DJs now. It's like, and it's not like I feel like you need to go through the same journey. But there is something to say about like being okay with being sunned. And it's not even like you being sunned, but that's how they look at it. Like if somebody said, yo, come play for an hour before the club opens. You got to figure out what you can get from it. It's up to you. I mean, they can throw you on at midnight or 1 o'clock, whatever you think the prime time is. Only thing you're going to get away from that is thinking that you killed it. And more than likely, you really didn't. You know what I mean? And that could be more detrimental to your growth than anything.
It's like playing. It's like, it's very synonymous with sports where it's like, I just want to play. Sometimes it's like, I just want to play. I want to get out there on the court or the field. You know what I'm saying? I know, we probably playing, I don't know how to name no teams, but, there's always those teams where you be like, man, I don't, it's not heavy competition, whatever the case is, but I want to play. Right? And even the best players played on the games, bro, them back-to-back nights. So,
I understand that. I think it's just important that, like, you talked about that experience and you said you loved it,
I loved it.
Like a lot of people will be, they'll probably be like, oh, it might not be for me or whatever like that. But, I think that's like an important lesson that people need to like hear, you know, and like just keep going pretty much, you know?
Yeah, no, I think just you have to find the joy in some of the stuff that doesn't feel good necessarily. You know what I mean?
For real.
You got to find joy in the low parts of a journey. Because, you know, at some point it's not going to last forever. I mean, if you let it last forever, yeah, it will. But, you know, for the most part, a lot of things don't last as long as you think they're going to.
Yeah.
And me DJing at 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., it did not last that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Consistency, though.
yeah, it's just the consistency, and it's like you put in your time, and you push to get more reps. Because I went from doing the small spot. It was like a lounge. It wasn't that big. From 9 p.m. to 10 to it might have been 9 p.m. to 9:45. You know what I'm saying? Because I think somebody came on at 10. Like the regular DJ might have came on at 10.
Yeah.
But then I got to open a similar setup. Open the first hour at a bigger club on a Friday night. And I knew I wasn't ready for what I wanted. You know, sometimes people got to protect you from yourself. You know what I mean?
Talk about it.
You see it a lot in sports where you have I was watching the Deion Sanders he has a show on Amazon Prime. And it's had the top recruit came in to his first season injured, and he wanted to really play really bad. And you know, Deion Sanders, his coach, was like, or Coach Prime, we'll call him Coach Prime. He was talking about how, you know, this kid wants to play, but if he goes out there, he's not going to be what he can be, what he really wants to be. And that's going to have people, because this kid is he's a top recruit. So he going to go out there and not play to his full potential, and he going to have everybody talking about him. So it's like you being a DJ and you're not ready to like be where you really want to be. You're going to have people either talking about you, or you're not going to get any more opportunities. You know what I mean? And you know, you can overcome anything you want, but you know, in a city that doesn't really have a whole lot of opportunities, you might, you know, you're going to lessen them.
No, you want to trust timing too.
For sure.
And your preparation. Like, you know, they say, man, opportunity means preparation, that whole thing. I think getting those reps in, whether they're big or small, scale, medium, whatever the size number is preparation, right? And for you, it's like you went through that journey, right? Like at what point were you, because I'm very curious about kind of the process of becoming the official DJ for the Seattle Sounders and music coordinator. Obviously, there's tons of work that went into that, but what was that process like in terms of like how that opportunity opened up for you? If you could take us through that, that's very interesting.
Be a really crazy answer.
We here for it.
We here for it.
This whole conversation about circling back to things.
Well, come on, let's circle back.
Relationships. Let's just say that it's a relationship thing. And so my mentor, he was the DJ for the Seattle Seahawks. Like when Pete Carroll first got here, he was the DJ, and this was like no other teams had a DJ. And there might have in professional sports. There wasn't very many teams that had a DJ, and so he was like the Seahawks DJ, and that's how I got introduced to it. You know what I mean? Like
no one was possible.
Yeah, and even at the time, like he wasn't even into football. Like he wasn't like the sports guy. So I'm like, dang, that's dope. Like, you give me that? Oh my gosh! Like, I was just like, man, don't even want to get into that. But no, he would have me come to, you know, the training camps they would have. He would have me come to the games, and he would sit me down and like go over, like they would give him not a script, but they would give them a playlist of like the players and the coaches pick these songs they want to hear during the practice at certain times during the game. You know what I mean? And he's just showing me like, well, this is what you kind of need to have, and you have to be ready to, you know, transition from a song pretty fast. And so I was, we were grooming. He was essentially grooming me for that type of opportunity, whether it was with the Seahawks or whatever other team I would have the opportunity to do it for. Yeah. And so, just having that that relationship, I got exposed to it. I saw that it really had nothing to do with DJing. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say that, but it's part that the music is what they hear. Yeah. But you have to have some other tangibles that have nothing to do with DJing, like paying attention, listening, being able to transition quickly. Yeah. Being able to go off of a playlist. For some people, that might be the hardest thing in the world. You're like, I want to play this like new song in the arena and hear it like booming. No. And so, that's for me, that relationship introduced me to what was possible with a professional sports team. And then he parts ways with the Seahawks, and the Sounders reach out to him, and he's like, I actually have a better idea. I have someone that I think this would be perfect for. And he hit me up, and he was like, I know the one we were going for didn't work out, but I think this is actually going to be a better situation. Yeah. And obviously there's like disappointment, like, man, it's not what we were going for. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, I was pumped. I saw it. I was,
and when you visualize shit, it's stuck. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was like, because like I said, like I saw kind of what he was able to do with it. Yep. And he's like on ESPN. He's in the Billboard magazine. They interviewing him and stuff. I'm like, we can turn up. We you don't even like sports. I can only imagine. You know what I'm saying?
I love how he goes back to he don't even like sports, y'all.
Man, this guy, man. But nah, he's he exposed me to so many things, and especially with that. And so it was a thing where they reached out to him, and he was ready to transition anyway. Yeah. Like I said, he's in Hawaii now. Like that was his goal, was to go over there and live his life. So, it all happened kind of at the right time. And then, that was 2014. Yeah, 2014. So I got introduced to the Sounders, and we've been rocking together ever since, man. And it what's crazy at the time, I was like, dang, this ain't really what I wanted. And I didn't know anything about soccer. Yeah. I didn't know a thing about soccer other than that it's a sport. And, it's the world sport, and it's the real football. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, when I look back now, almost 10 years being with the Sounders organization, and it was the best situation. Yeah. Because when I was talking to you about a lot of what those type of situations has nothing to do with the actual skill of what it is. Like, so for DJing, it's not about the DJing. It's about the professionalism. It's about being able to play a role on a team. Yep. Yeah. I wasn't even ready for that. If I would have had that opportunity, I probably would have messed it up. Yeah. Yeah. Just because I wasn't ready. I was too amped. Yeah. I saw it. I was like, it's up, And so now when I look back, the experience that I've had with the Sounders, I don't think I would have had that with the Seahawks at that time. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Everything happens for a reason.
It happened for a reason. I was able to learn at a better pace. Yeah. Now, if there's a situation where the Seahawks are like, we want you to, DJ or any other, team, excuse me, any other team, I'm not even nervous. I'm like, okay, what you want to do? Yeah. What do you need? Yeah. I got you. Okay. I've done that before. Yeah. And I've met so many other DJs for professional sports teams. Yeah. Like you got D Sharp with the Golden State Warriors. He's been their DJ. I'm not sure how many years, but he's been there for all the championships. Yeah. Then you have DJ Vic One. He's out in LA. DJ for the LA Kings, the Los Angeles Chargers. I know I'm missing another team. I think UCLA.
Yeah.
Who else? I connected with or started, over social media, connected with, I think that the DJ for he does the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
And so you start meeting all these other DJs who do it, and you start having conversations with them, and you're like, oh, okay, we're on the same page as far as like, this is like, there's a certain way you got to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's this part of it where it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just have a greater respect, because there's some DJs where they're in arena DJs. They're DJing like in the arena while the game's playing. Mm-hmm. Then you have pregame DJs where they're playing the music, right before or during warm-ups or things like that, or when fans are coming in to the stadium and things like that. So, looking back, the Sounders was the best situation for me to be in, and I was able to have like one of the greatest moments I think a DJ could even have. It's like you talk to like a basketball player or something. I'm sure, like, oh yeah, if I could play. You see those college games where they play like on a battleship. You know what I mean? It's usually like the top teams, like the North Carolinas or whatever. Yeah. Or you talk to like maybe a baseball player, and they want to play like at this historic field or something like that. Or a basketball player probably like played at Madison Square. Yeah, something like that. So for a DJ, you tell a DJ that they could play center field of a football field with pyro and
the fire
2 million people watching and 70,000 plus in a stadium. There's no DJ that wouldn't be amped to do that. And I was able to do that last year for the CONCACAF championship between the Sounders and I can't even think of the name of the team from Mexico. I want to say the Pumas, but I could be wrong. But anyways, it was a championship game, and it was just a really good experience because, I got contacted and it was like, we're trying to figure out this pregame performance, and you're one of the options. And then the other option was this other artist from Seattle, and I was like, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad that we're, it's between me and this other person, because that's actually pretty dope.
You're being considered first.
I'm being considered. And then just getting, working with the production team and the pyro team, and seeing the vision that they had, I was like, oh my gosh, this is about to be crazy.
That's what's interesting though, bro, is I'm getting that, you got to put in the work. That's like mandatory. You got to put in the work. You got to be prepared, and you got to be consistent. But part of like what I've been talking about a lot is like we got to learn how to play big and not play small. And I think when your number gets called, right? Mm-hmm. Like, even if like, damn, I didn't see this coming. I don't even know if I'm.
No, you got to be ready.
You got to be ready, and you got to step up and lean into it. Like, so in that moment, as a performer, it's like, And
that's why I was saying, like, if this would have happened in, 10 years ago, I was not ready.
Yeah.
But when I got this call, and it was more than just DJing. There's a part of it where it's like you have to work with, when you're working with pyrotechnics, you can't really do that live.
Yeah.
And so you have to pre-work on your set so that they can coordinate the pyro with the music.
Yeah.
And so now you're like producing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're producing a set.
That's dope.
And seeing like the video of what they wanted to have happen, and then hearing the music that I'm making. Again, this goes to, can you work within restrictions or within guidelines? Because they're like, okay, well, we want to have this theme for your musical set. We want to have it focus on Seattle music.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. I think I went through like 2 or 3, maybe even more than that, maybe like 5 drafts before we landed on one where it was like, okay, that's the one. And for some people that might be hard, because you might be, when I say like compensating my creative, whatever, like you might be going against your creative morals or something. And that might not be the easiest thing to do for some people. And so I was looking forward to that. I was like, I don't mind doing that, And so once it finally we got to the game day, it was just so much fun just taking it in.
Yeah.
'Cause that's a moment that might never happen again.
Yep.
But just taking it in, and I was able to bring, my best friend Ty, and my son. I was able to bring my son. And I picked him up from school. I was like, "Yo, we got somewhere to go."
That's amazing.
And so he was able to come with me, and
stories to tell on the school bus for sure.
For sure, yeah, it was just just about exposing them to stuff,
of course.
Going through and just being on that stage and just finally seeing the final product of what, I didn't know what it was going to be, but now seeing it together, you got all this pyro, and you got it was like I want to say it was close to 80,000 fans.
That's major.
In the stands, and then I think crazy. 2 million viewers streaming it.
Yeah.
And just looking over on the sideline and like seeing my son on his iPad, just like, I'm like, yo, like,
you don't see what's going on here, man.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, like, what's up, man? Like, you're about to miss the show.
That's crazy.
And so the show happens, and it happens so fast.
Yeah.
And then, it's just like all this fire. It's just like pyro going, the crowd's going crazy. I was like, I could do this like literally every day.
Yeah. No, that's a moment, man. And it's important that we look at those moments. Obviously, they're moments that you got to live in and be present, but understand like what they mean to the greater narrative. And what you're building. And I think that's what I get from it. And you were ready, and I'm really big on timing, man. I think timing is everything.
No, timing is like the most important thing, because again, like I would not have been ready for that in 10 years before. Now, if you ask me to do that again, I ain't gonna say it's a walk in the park, but I'm definitely like way more comfortable with it. Like, okay, I know what you need.
Yeah.
And that's just even like when opportunities come up now, whether it's like, doing a set at an arena for like a concert, just being like comfortable.
Yeah.
I still get nervous. Don't get me wrong. Like I always get nervous before every set.
Yeah.
But I'm just comfortable that I know how to execute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had this talk with my boy, DJ Amen out of the Bay Area. And he always is like, he's got to keep putting points on the board.
Yep.
And that's really what it is like you just gotta keep putting those points up.
Yep.
And part of that is being prepared, being confident in what you can do, executing it, and then continue doing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little slower than others, especially right now. Like things are just different. In not just in the world, but within the industry, things are just they're a little slower. It's not the same as it was before COVID, obviously, but you just got to keep putting points on the board.
One of the biggest takeaways that I'm getting, and I think a lot of aspiring DJs can also probably pull from this, is the relationship aspect, because as you mentioned, bro, the world is inevitably always going to change. Things are always going to change. And part of being adaptable is having those relationships that can kind of carry you through those kind of transitional periods that are happening around, to where you can still be able to find different ways to kind of reinvent yourself and find new opportunities. So,
the relationships are so important, man, because through ups and downs, that's what's they should be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you might need to lean on them, or they might need to lean on you.
Yep.
So the relationships are very important. And again, that's like something that I want to this year do better at, and just keep doing better in it,
Yeah. No, we can always improve on that.
Yeah.
So, man, I wanted to ask you, like, what was the process like of like collaborating with these brands that you were working with?
It's going to be really boring because it's going to be the same answer. Relationships, man. No, it's relationships.
Well, I think it's important too, because there's a lot of aspiring DJs who want to get into that field. Next generation coming, and I think, but
no, it's all relationships, and it's all, can you provide this brand with what they want? And you got to realize these brands have brand guidelines.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you stay on brand, not just your brand, but can you stay on, you know, their brand and even providing the music if they're having an event, whether it's like a Nordstrom's, Amazon, Nike, Adidas, they all have kind of this style that their customers are, you know, familiar with.
Yep.
You don't go into Nordstrom's and hear, you know, I don't know, like twerk music that often.
Yeah.
They might play like Meg Thee Stallion or something. You know what I mean? But it's a very diverse sounding soundtrack that I would provide.
Yeah.
Now, if they come to me and say, "Yo, we want to turn it up," I know there's a ceiling for that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go there, but we not. You know what I mean? So, each brand, you just gotta tap into, you know, who they are and just ask them like, "Yo, what do you want? What's your vision?" This past year, working with the Amazon Prime video and Thursday Night Football, and you know, it's football, so it's sports, it's energy, it's fun, it's, you know what I mean. And so just having a conversation with them, and even with that, like, you know, you might have a client that gives you some talking points. And so now you're not just doing music, you're communicating, you're getting your hosting down. And so, you just gotta give them what they want. And for some people that might not be who they are as a DJ, and people want certain opportunities because of what they think comes with it financially, or just the look. Oh, this looks dope. I mean, and honestly, sometimes like the big look doesn't really pay a whole lot of money. You know what I mean? Like you got to know what to do with it. You know. So I think for the brands, it's relationships. It's, can you keep the relationships? You know, can you provide what it is that they want? And are you what they really want? You know what I mean? Because for instance, it might be, I don't know, let's say the brand is woman focused. You know what I mean? For them, they might want a female DJ. They're not going to hire you. They might not. And you can't be mad at that. They just have a vision for what they're trying to project at their event or whatever it is you're doing. And so you might not fall into that brand's vision. Then you have other brands where, you know, they like a person's style. You might be the flyest guy, and they're like, you know what, we like him. He's charismatic, and he's when he's on his DJ sets, he's interacting with people, and he's happy, and he's fun, and that might fit for that brand.
And so I feel like it's my bad. I feel like it's vice versa too. It's kind of like how you're kind of explaining it. It has to be a good fit for you.
It has to be a good fit.
That's literally what I was about to say. I think you got to know who your brand is and what's your brand identity, because if you know your brand identity, then it makes it easier to know which brands to work with.
Exactly. And a lot of times too, like, you gotta, like, for instance, you know, my name is Chris, and then there is Karma, and there's Chris Karma. These are all different characters. You know what I mean? And sometimes brands want to hire characters. Like, who is your character? You know what I mean? Is your character interesting? Is it worth hiring? You know what I mean? You gotta think about those type of things too. Because it's like, you know, nowadays you have to be more than what your initial kind of I don't know, plan or talent is. Like, if you're a DJ, that's cool, but you got to be like a producer, an artist, an influencer, like, you
multifaceted.
You have to, and that applies for if you wanted to be, I don't know, a fashion designer. It's like, you be a fashion designer, and you got to be an author. And, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta. There's a lot of different hats you have to wear. Today, and that's something I want to get better at too. Is like, you know, opening people up to other things that I do, that they may not know of.
No, it's man, it's not what people think on the surface a lot of times, but with a lot of things. And I think context
and if you have
is key.
more value, honestly, that helps you. The more value you have and adds for yourself, some of those brand opportunities will come.
Yeah.
You know, like I have friends that are, you know, influencers.
Yeah.
And they're killing it.
Yeah.
Like I'm inspired by what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you got people, you know, getting these deals with Puma or Foot Locker. I don't know. I don't know. I have a friend.
Yeah.
She's literally killing it. Shout out Infamous Casey. She's killing it, man.
Yeah.
Like she's doing it. You know what I mean? And it's like you could take something away from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so there's other people killing it too, but it's like everybody's killing it.
Yeah.
Essentially. Like if you have to do more than one thing. I remember she did not want to talk on the mic. I remember she asked me, she was like, these people want to fly me out to like host this club party. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk on the mic. I was like, well, all you got to do is say blah, blah, blah. Now she's like, I think she interviewed Kobe one time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She's
the
NBA is hiring her to, you know, host, you know, different events and shows and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, she figured it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes you just got to jump out there.
She figured it out.
That's dope.
And,
that's dope.
And I think that's just what we all have to do, whether you're a DJ, I don't know, a lawyer, a creative, an influencer. You just got to kind of figure it out, but you're going to have to do more than the one thing that you set out wanting to do. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's real. That's real. Yeah. That's a gem, bro. That's a gem for sure.
And that's how those brands are going to, like, you know.
Yeah, it's like a package. Like, you bring kind of a multi-package, you know, offering.
And that might price you out of some of the brands that you thought you wanted to work with. That too. Like, you might, I want to work with, I don't know, Ferrari. And then Ferrari's like, hey, we want to DJ this gig. Yeah, here's my price. That's a bit much. And you're like, well, I'm a DJ. You know, you start going off of all the things.
Knowing your worth and knowing your value.
Yeah,
that you
and you might price yourself out of some of the things that you thought you wanted to do. Yeah. You know?
No, that's dope, man. And again, it's about growth and assessing your growth and assessing your progress so you can accurately know what type of value you can bring. So it's
for sure. And you always got to check in and you know, see what the market value is and see, you know, are you charging, you know, the right amount?
Yeah. It's all part of the game, man.
Yeah.
Now, man, you've been dropping a lot of gems, man, and we definitely appreciate that. I always ask our guests this question because I'm just curious to know, but like, what if you do got some things maybe more immediate down the pipeline? Would love to hear about those, but also kind of what's your outlook for the future? Like, what do you have, like, kind of those big visionary type of things that you got your eyes on?
Of course. No, I mean, there's things that I definitely, I felt like I should have probably did them a long time ago that like now I'm like, all right, we're just going to do them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Some things I probably won't even announce just because I'm not ready to put it out there yet.
Yeah, man.
You know, but no, I think, you know, coming up in the near future, definitely putting out music.
Okay.
Definitely, you know, producing, you know, sending out some packs to people and seeing whatever happens.
So
I think part of it.
We got an album coming? Okay.
We got something coming. You know, I don't know if it's gonna be an album or just some singles. But
let me know if you need a verse. Let me know. I might throw you something.
Hey, I'm gonna need that intro. That's what I need. But no, it's like, you know, like I'm always making beats and just sitting on them and never just felt like, for whatever reason, I just didn't put them out. I didn't let people know that that's what I did. Yeah. And then it's like time goes on. You're like, well, why am I not doing this? And you're like, oh, maybe I'm just scared that I might actually be good or people might actually like it, or you might be scared that you're gonna fail. You know what I mean? And it's like, just put it out.
Yeah.
It might not do well, but at least just get it out of your system.
Yeah.
And for me, you know, before it's all said and done, I want to at least be like, okay, I did that.
Yeah.
I put it out there, let people know what it is I'm doing, and then I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah.
Of course, because you still got to follow through with it.
Definitely.
So for me, that's like one of the main things that I want to do this coming year for
Let's
sure.
go.
Is
Let's go. I'm excited for that.
putting that out there.
It's going down.
Yes, sir.
It's going
Yeah.
down, man.
And then you also got the Dope Music Festival that you'll be performing at as well, right?
Yeah,
Coming
the Dope Music Festival coming up. I'll be DJing that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have too many details on that yet, but
Yeah.
you know, if people tap in on the Instagram and socials and stuff like that, we'll have more info.
Yep.
You know, in
Definitely.
the next coming weeks for sure.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Sure.
no, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's right down the street, right? Climate Pledge Arena.
Yeah, that's the brand new arena. So looking forward to rocking that one.
Let's
And
go.
you know, it's just fun
sir.
just having that that type of arena or platform where you have all these, you know, people just staring at you like, all right, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, we're gonna do this.
It's game
Let's go.
time,
Yeah,
man.
let's go for a ride, man.
Game
You
time
know,
right there.
no, it's yeah, just looking forward to that and many more just opportunities coming up.
Yeah.
The Sounders season, we're kicking off February sometime.
Okay.
So that's starting back up. And it's just looking forward to being, you know, taking it day by day.
Come on.
I'm not gonna say everything's like perfect,
Yeah.
in my life, but for sure, you know, just figuring out those things that I want to, you know, make better and just taking that time
Yep.
to do it. You know what I mean? Still enjoy the things that are worth enjoying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still enjoy the people.
Mm.
Still enjoy the family and the friends
Yep.
and, you know, the relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to this year and just you know, just being more involved in not only the things that I want to do, but hopefully if I come across some people who, you know, I can help,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
like pour some into them as well.
Let's go.
You
Hell
know?
yeah,
A
bro.
lot more collaboration too.
There we go.
A lot more collaboration.
Yes.
I want to do some events. I want to get back to doing events. I
Mhm.
took some time off from that. I wasn't motivated. I'm definitely a lot more motivated. So looking forward to doing some events, working with some local and national
Yeah.
promoters and some of these dope parties that are going around the city and
Yeah.
across the country. Would love to collab and you know, do some things with some people. So looking forward to
Future
that,
looking bright.
Come on.
Let's
man.
go.
I mean, it's gonna be as bright as you make it.
Come
so.
on.
Hey.
That's
You
a
know.
quote. That's the last quote. One more quote for the day.
Yep.
It's as bright as you
yeah.
make it.
It's as bright as you make
It's
it.
as bright as you
Yeah,
make it.
man.
I love it, man.
Real.
You did mention socials. Where can people follow you for
Yeah.
those who want to tap in and stay connected to the movement and everything that's coming?
Yeah, no, definitely head to the website. That's chriskarma.com, and karma is spelled CHARMA. Also Instagram, Chris Karma. Twitter @ChrisKarma_.
Tap in.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to send me an email or something,
Telegram, yo.
Yeah, you can go to the website.
Yeah, man.
But no, yeah, definitely just tap in and just follow this journey and
Yes.
yeah, man.
We're excited, man.
Yeah.
Now,
What y'all got going, man?
man, you know, we're going to be here pushing these stories, man, and cultivating culture,
Yes,
doing
sir.
it with people such as yourself. And then doing it for the family members, which are the listeners and viewers, obviously. But
Being consistent.
being
like you
consistent, staying on the up and up. But I do have to ask this question. We always ask every guest this question to cap off the show. So if you can, my brother, what's one word to describe what keeps you on the up and up and why?
You said one word.
One word.
Strive.
Mm.
Yeah, strive. Striving.
Mm. And why that word?
So like when I was a kid, this goes back to like being into music. I was listening to this Jay-Z song, Anything.
I was just bumping
And
it
it was
before
like
you
literally
walked in.
like it was like the last song on like one of the albums. It wasn't even like a featured song, but it was like I was drawn to it. And he has a line in there where he says, "Strive for what you believe in, set goals and
you can achieve them."
There you go.
Mhm.
And so that, I heard that like, you know, like high school or something like that. And I remember I even had like a project in English and I wrote it in this project. I forget what reason, but I put it in there. There's like a quote that stuck out and why it stuck out to me, and I explained it. And it's still to this day. It's like, yeah, you just strive for what you believe in, man. You set those goals, and you will achieve them. So that's why for me, strive is always just that word. You know what I mean?
That's crazy because we were literally playing that song before you got here.
Really?
I swear to God.
Should have played that one.
Man.
That'd have been the intro.
We're going to do the post. We'll get the post-production right. We're going we're about to cue up the instrumental as you're saying what you just said. Cause
that's my song, man.
I love that.
I think it's a slept-on song, but
it is slept on.
That line alone, like, I'm like, that's it.
Dope. That's dope, man. I think that's the first time we got that word too. So.
Really?
Yeah, man. Well, Chris, man, again, man, first and foremost, we just want to thank you, bro, for being here, sharing your time with us, as well as with the audience.
I'll be back, man. Hopefully, you guys do this like once a month or what?
We release about twice a month, but we definitely got some things in store to more sub content and outside content.
Man, I definitely would love to come back, man. I appreciate the hospitality, the energy you guys have up here,
sure, man.
and just your guys' platform, man. I want to give you all a round of applause, man.
Thank you, man.
Because
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I've been a fan of the podcast, and I honestly was like, yo, man, am I being slept on? These guys ain't called me up here, man. Like, what's good? But I was like, the time is gonna come. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, sir.
The time is gonna come, and I'm glad that I'm here. And again, just like congratulations to what you guys have created here.
Thank you, bro.
And the impact you're having, man.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it.
It means a lot, bro. And it's very reciprocal, bro. Because I always say this every time, but I'm like, this platform doesn't exist without people such as yourself and others who are out there doing the work. So it is a collective effort, but we appreciate that, man.
Oh, of course,
and you being here, man. And yeah, man, we wish you much success moving forward. You got support with us here at the UpNUp always. And with that said, I think it's safe to say DJ Chris Charma is officially a member of the UpNUp. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
My dog.
So I'll get a picture at the step and repeat up there.
Yes.
Infamous one.
That's official, bro.
Yeah, I need that.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And you're not slept on.
To continue supporting the podcast and the entire UpNUp movement, be sure to rate, review, like, and subscribe.
As well as follow us at _the UpNUp on all social media platforms to stay connected with everything the UpNUp has coming your way.
Thanks for listening, and until the next one,
Keep it on the UpNUp.